Hi, everybody. Welcome to BodyChat, our first BodyChat interview. We are so excited. I'm Hillary Wells, and I'm here with Dr. Pam Denton. We are the co-founders of the SuperCORE Fit technique and authors of Core Intelligence, Driving the New Era of Leadership. And we are so excited that you're here with us today, and we are so pleased and honored to have Amanda Burton here with us today. She is a love and dating coach extraordinaire, and we're going to dig deep into some issues having to do with women's relationship with our bodies and dating. So Amanda, I'm going to turn it over to you to tell us a little bit maybe about yourself, what you do, and what you've seen as far as women and body issues and dating and how that all intertwines.
Sure, that's pretty loaded, but yeah, so I am, so I'm a dating and relationship coach, and I guess I just kind of started from my own experiences. Of course, I was divorced, I had 2 babies and all of that good stuff, and there was a moment, I remember I was sitting on the cold kitchen floor, just crying and wallowing in self-pity and those feelings of just resentment and shame and guilt, all that stuff that comes with your body as well. And so I was just kind of finally a wave of grace, like, all right, let's go here. The world deserves a better version of you. You deserve a better version of you. And so that's kind of where it started. And then I actually opened myself up to dating. I did spend 2 years kind of in survival mode, basically. But then I opened up to the dating world. And what I found was, so of course I, developed a process that really worked. It helped me to stay, attached to my self-worth, connected to my self-worth. And so, now I teach women to do the same. As for body issues coming into play, I'm thinking of, what it always comes down to, right, is feeling that self-worth and that you're enough, right? With the body image, people that I just started with, they'll be, they're in a space where, well, I'm not really interested in date. I just want to get connected to, have more confidence and stuff like that. And of course, that's what you want. And of course, that's what we need in order to have a healthy relationship. So that's where everybody starts. But they're contacting me because they do want a relationship, right? And so what they encounter then is that, when you're feeling disgusted with your own body, you're not going to want to go out. You're not going to want to open up. And you most certainly don't feel even safe to open up, right? Because if you're feeling disgusted, what you feel that everybody else is going to feel like you're disgusting too. So, and I guess I'm using that word based on, Pam, you were just saying, let's get down to the nitty gritty and the dirty stuff. And that's the dirty stuff. None of that feels good. And so, that's one limitation. I'll stop talking for a moment. So
That's a pretty loaded word, disgusting. Is that really what women are saying about themselves?
Yeah, absolutely. Some are, especially people who have had, the maybe eating disorders or anything like that. Like that's what they're feeling. And then, there's shame attached to that as well, and the guilt of not doing what you want to do because you're held back by the fact that this is not good enough. So
that's like a tip of an iceberg that's really huge. And, it just triggered so many thoughts in my mind about how do you have a healthy relationship when you have an eating disorder or you really feel disgusted about yourself. I was thinking about the type of relationship in which the partner is like the codependent facilitator I'm so sorry that you feel that way about your body, and I don't really know what to do with you. Like when somebody has bulimia or anorexia and they're so self-absorbed in that, and I get to talk about this because I was bulimic. So like,
me too. We both, I don't know,
in there.
Both have that experience for me for probably 25 years. So on and off, not constant, but it was something that I would go back to. And that's something, if you're, binging and purging, how do you invite someone into your life? Like, but to me, it's kind of a chicken or egg situation, since I was lonely. When I was lonely was when it would come up. But then, and then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. I feel lonely, so I binge and purge, and then I feel not worthy of finding someone, then I'm lonelier, right? So is that a cycle that you see sometimes with women, or?
Absolutely. And I'm so glad you said that, because there's a reason why it's coming up, and whatever that reason is, most of the time. And one thing, you want to, one thing you always encourage is to not judge it. You can observe it, right? Yeah, it's coming up. Okay. It's coming up for a reason. It's coming up from love. And so, because that's me, like we are love. And so this is coming from love. So it's coming from a place. Exactly. So it's coming from a place of probably trying to protect you from something. And so what is it trying to protect you from? What does it need? And being able to give it, seeing it, hearing it, and being able to even give it a voice, give it another character in your story that you want to, live out in this life. But yeah, being able to identify, bring your awareness to what it is, first of all, that it's there, identify certain, bring your awareness to the lies that it is saying, out of protection, like, your teeth are going to rot out of your head if you don't brush your teeth. Well, is that really true? I mean, maybe eventually, but it's not going to do it tonight. Do you know what I mean? So with this loving, protective force here, okay, what is it that you really need me to know right now? Well, I probably, well, I don't want to get into that quite yet, but what is it that you really need from me need right now? And like, if you're feeling disconnected, I need to feel connected. Do I need to eat to feel connected? Or do I need to binge and purge to feel connected? Do I need, like, what do I really need? And then when your awareness is on, when you have the awareness of the lie, of how it's serving you, you can always, not always, it's harder than I'm saying, I know that, but then you have that choice to, well, let me see if I can meet this need in another way. Maybe I can protect myself in another way. I need to eat and be, by societal terms, unattractive or something like that, in order to protect myself from connection with a man or a partner. And what is there another way that you can be protected? Yeah, you could probably work on your boundaries. You could work on being able to communicate the boundaries, and have them met, and honor yourself instead of people pleasing and stuff like that. And I just realized I probably went off on a whole tangent. So yeah.
I think I don't think it's a tangent at all, because it is about, I was even thinking about this the other day, how fat can be a protective layer to keep us at bay from someone, the same as being too thin, as being anorexic or something. It gives you this protective layer, because it's vulnerable to put yourself out there. It's vulnerable to risk getting your heart broken yet again, right? And so what are the ways that word protect, that we have these ways of protection that ultimately harm us, right? Sometimes. So finding healthy ways of protecting ourselves, like in SuperCORE, when we're in SuperCORE, we really work on resetting the central nervous system and resetting our energy field so that we can have protection. One of the stances that we use in SuperCORE is safety shield. And this is such a comforting place to be, telling ourselves that we can be safe. I can keep myself safe. And when we begin to believe that, then we start to not have to have all these protective layers of whatever else. So I think that's a really, really good point. And like you said, it's peeling the onion. It's not a simple answer. Usually there's many, many layers that we need to peel off. But I think just being able to talk about it, and this is really why we started BodyChat, to be able to talk about stuff that we might feel ashamed about. Like, I didn't talk about my eating disorder while it was going on. It took me a long time to be able to just be matter of fact and say, yep, I was bulimic for a long time. And so there's that shame, but I think the first layer sometimes of the onion is just really being able to talk about it and get out there. And so maybe people reaching out to you is that first layer for them of saying, ooh, this is what I'm going through. I feel disgusting. And to even just be able to voice that is huge, I would think.
Yeah, absolutely. And and just as you're talking, I used to have, went through a stint of bulimia as well. And so, and it's interesting too, just when you guys were saying it, it was like, oh, and I didn't say it at first. I mean, I was waiting for the room, but do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, we're supposed to have it all together. And so there's this image that we're supposed to have, because if we don't have that image, you know, then what? Then we're going to be rejected from our tribe. And so that plays a big part too, I think, like in all of this, and especially with like what's attractive too changes, right? Like, you know, it used to be the pencil thin Barbie models, and now it's the Kardashians or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's tough to like, oh no, you have to be so careful. But
yeah, now are you going to get a booty enhancement now, you know, right? Or, you know, instead of, you know, are you going to starve yourself? What are you going to do? And so really it's about coming into that sense of attractiveness in ourselves, and that can take a lifetime, right? But that is really, you know, where our power comes from. And we have a colleague who likes to say the most confident woman in the room is the most attractive woman in the room, right? Because you can feel that confidence, just somebody who's comfortable in their own skin, no matter what they look like, no matter what their build, no matter what's going on. And that's something that it takes a lot, especially in a culture that still is so focused on appearances, and maybe even now more than ever with, you know, with all the social media and, you know, people posting their bikini pics and whatever else. It can be really challenging and daunting. And I have two stepdaughters, of one 11 and one 13, and I'm already seeing that they're dealing with their relationship with their body and their issues. And sometimes I feel at a loss to, you know, like, what do I say? How do I really get across to them, you know, you are awesome no matter what?
yeah,
That's big.
that is really big. And yeah, it's like and even I have I mean, they're still young, 5 and 7, but she's definitely you know, they're aware of the styles and stuff like that. And so yeah, it's just and like you're saying, like that self-worth, that groundedness, that you're enough, it has to come from within. It can't be on the outside. This is just a vessel. Like, you can make it look however the hell you want, right? It's just there to serve you. So how are you going to have it serve you? And so, yeah, with that, I just feel like that's where, like you were saying, the self-worth has to come from within, not on this outside shell.
So what's one thing that you would, an exercise or some kind of advice that you would give to people who want to go there, who say, okay, I'm ready to take this next step? What would you tell someone who came to you?
Yeah, so I would say the first step, I guess, is you have that awareness of, basically, of the lie, right? Like, you have the awareness of, okay, this is a lie. I may know that, but I may not believe that within yet, but that's okay, because I'm going to get there. Like, and with that awareness too, also being aware that and cognitively at first, you may know it cognitively at first, but it takes a bit. But I am good enough exactly where I am, exactly in this moment. So knowing the lie of bringing your awareness to the lie, first of all, and then grounding yourself in the truth that I am good enough right where I am, exactly as I am. And so I would say that would be the start.
That's really good. Yeah. And then you know, playing this into the dating world for those people out there that are dating, when you say that, then you'll put forth the pictures on, if you're on a dating site or something, or you'll just carry yourself into the relationship the way that you are, with the work that you need to do on yourself, and allow the relationship to be healthier, rather than carrying in the fake self or the lie and trying to make the relationship what you think it should be. If you carry yourself into a dating situation of, I'm enough the way I am right now, and I'm doing my inner work. And I tell women this all the time when I'm doing dating relationship stuff, especially with women: be authentic, be real, be who you are. I can't believe how many women won't even be direct with the partner that they're seeking. They don't even communicate clearly with them, because they're too scared that what they say will, here it comes, scare them off. Well, I'm like, if they get scared off, they weren't meant to be your partner.
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. And one more thing too, to piggyback on that is like, even if, so with that awareness, right? This is what I get so excited about, because then you have the awareness, then you can make that choice. I don't even have to believe that I'm good enough right where I am right now. That's fine. But I know what choice to make if I did believe that. And that's the choice that, you can make. I have one client right now who's been a complete boss about all of this. And she came in a good place, but she was, like, well, I don't want to date right now. I'm just looking to feel more confident. And so I'm like, well, working with me, this is, you will gain more confidence, but especially if you're expressing you want a relationship, this is what we're going to do, because you are good enough exactly where you are, no matter how, like, no matter where you are body wise. She was thinking that she was gaining weight, and she was having some of these the thoughts. But in any case, she wanted to say screw you plenty of times, but what we did was just encourage her to keep showing up in the way that she would. So she wanted to cancel dates, right? And well, what would you do if you did feel worthy of this? Well, I'd keep the goddamn date, and so she'd keep the date or something. The other thing too that's been going on, because now it's been a couple months we've been working together, is that those interesting, well, it's not interesting, it does make sense, right? So as you meet somebody, and or a few people, as you're going through this, and there's like potential to be more intimate, you notice those blocks as well. And then some of the, those the thoughts come in again about the body image and the eating and stuff. And so all of that we're working through as well. But the cool part is if she did not enter this dating world and relationships, that may not have come up in this way. And now she's also learning too. She's like setting the boundaries. She's learning to, okay, well, this is what I'm experiencing right now. And to be honest with herself is what she needs. So I need space. Well, I don't want to tell him I need space, because that's going to, like you said, scare him off, or he's going to withdraw his attention from me. Well, if he does, then that's not the one for you. And so she's doing this, and it's scary for her. And I know it's scary, and but she's still doing it. Like, and she, of course, we're in a lot of communication, but she's doing it. And so what's happening each time is like, oh, okay, there's my worst. Oh, okay. And then it's just this strong, well, you guys know, just kind of flows through, and it's like integrated into every cell of your body. It's already there. It's just kind of waking it up and activating it,
Activate the self-worth.
Yeah. And I love the act as if, well, what would you do if you did believe that you were, if you did believe you're worthy of this? It reminds me of, I used to be a violin teacher. And when I was studying with a master teacher, she told one of her students to play a piece, and her student said, well, I don't really know that piece well enough. And she said, well, how would you play it if you did know it well enough? And she played it beautifully, right? So we actually know so much more than we think we do. And we, if we can act as if, coming from a place of self-worth, eventually we can start to believe it, right? But you have to start somewhere, or else stay at home on the couch where you're probably not going to be getting many dates.
Definitely. And you can act, and you're just kind of balancing you can act and form the belief. You can form the belief and then act. It's just kind of a nice little cycle that you have access to.
Well, and like you're saying, let it be light, right? We put so much weight. Speaking of weight, right? We put so much weight on everything. I said this, he did this, and being lighter, more playing with it. Like, well, what if I did this? What would happen here? I like your approach that let's play. And, there really are a lot of fish in the sea, and there really is someone for everyone, and so you got a fly going on.
There's a mosquito in my house. They're vicious.
Oh, they are so vicious.
So yeah, there was one other question that came up for me. Oh, so how many of your clients, I think these days, a lot of people, probably most people, are meeting people online, right? Is that what you're experiencing? And are there specific body issues that come up from online dating?
From online dating, yeah, many of them are doing the online. Some refuse, and that's okay too. Can you tell me more about that? What do you mean, like on the online dating?
Well, some people I've noticed, I have a lot of single friends. And so, I've actually never dated online, but they'll show me stuff and guys will post pictures that are like 20 years old and they don't
Oh,
look like that anymore. Or, like how do you select pictures that represent who you are and feel confident if you don't feel good in your body? And how do you put yourself forward online when people, all they have to go by really is a photo? Like, does that bring up body stuff?
oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So thank you for expanding on that. Absolutely. And the thing is like, well, what do you feel comfortable in? And just start there. Like, honestly, just start, and then that momentum's going, and you have to start with, okay, well, I like this picture about myself. Okay. So post that, because when you're feeling good in that picture, that's going to come through. Like, and the other thing too is like, go have fun and with friends and have them take pictures of you laughing and stuff like that, and that's where you can kind of start with those. And then when you feel more comfortable, like, you could take some more different ones, change them up, take more full body. But for the most part, it's just kind of, I feel like it can be a gentle, fun process. Like, just kind of start, and here's the first thing that you can do, and then what, you can feel into that, whatever. And then if it's, but I love the word that you keep saying too, is play. Like, yes, we're just playing with this, like dating, anything, life, we're just playing all of it.
Just taking action. Like, what I hear you saying is, look at the liar, shift the belief, take action, and especially take action. And what I love about what we're saying here is take action in a playful way that feeds you and inspires you to feel good.
Yeah, I love those words. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Awesome.
I would like to encourage people also to talk about what's going on with them, just like we are here with a trusted friend or family member, counselor, whatever. Talking about it is so important. Getting it out in the open. We all have body stuff, men, women, everybody. We think that men don't. Sometimes they do.
We'll be addressing that.
We will be, yes. So, do your own body chat. And, I think ultimately I would love to open this up to have audience members and people be able to share their stories with each other. And as we move forward, I think it's so powerful to share. And, Amanda, I'm so glad you're there to help people get themselves out there and help them, see that their self-worth isn't so wrapped up in what people think of them, because that's the ultimate, putting yourself out there is, we all have, what do people think of me? But dating is like the ultimate of getting yourself out there and putting it out there, right?
Absolutely.
Risking rejection.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
That's a great closer too for our audience. Like, what risk can you take? Like, make it fun, make it playful. Think of a risk that you can take. Be daring. Be bold.
Awesome. Amanda, do you have any closing wisdom for us?
Geez, no, I think just knowing you're enough exactly where you are, exactly in this moment, you are worthy and deserving of all that you desire. So I guess that's my closing.
Thank you so much. Thanks for being here with us today. What a fun, awesome conversation. And thanks for being our first guest on Body Chat. Yay!
Oh my God, welcome. Thank you. I feel honored.
All right, everyone. Have a great day.
You too.